Most people think low IQ is only about school grades or intelligence tests. But psychology shows that people with extremely low IQ share certain behavioral and cognitive patterns that are surprisingly consistent and often misunderstood. Here are 7 unexpected traits psychologists frequently associate with extremely low IQ levels. 1. They overestimate their own intelligence. One of the most surprising traits of people with an extremely low IQ is that they often believe they're smarter than they actually are. Psychology calls this the illusion of competence. They speak with confidence about things they barely understand because their brain can't accurately measure its own limitations. It's not arrogance, it's the inability to recognize missing knowledge. 2. They struggle with cause and effect. Thinking people with extremely low IQ often have difficulty understanding how one action leads to another. They repeat the same mistakes because they genuinely cannot connect the dots between their choices and the results that life feels random to them, not because it is, but because their cognitive process cannot track the sequence of events. 3. They think in extremes, not in nuance. A common pattern among extremely low IQ individuals is black and white thinking. Everything is either all good or all bad with no middle ground. They can't navigate complexity or subtlety, so they jump to extreme conclusions. This makes conversations difficult because they interpret simple situations in rigid absolute ways. 4. They react before they reflect. Impulsivity is another strong indicator of extremely low IQ. They act first, think later, or sometimes don't. Delaying gratification feels impossible. Analyzing consequences feels exhausting, and long-term planning almost doesn't exist. Their decisions come from emotion and instinct rather than reasoning. 5. They copy others. Instead of forming independent thoughts, people with extremely low IQ often rely on imitation rather than understanding. They mimic the behavior, opinions, and beliefs of people around them. Because analyzing information requires mental effort, they rarely question what they're told. They simply adopt it. 6. They misinterpret neutral situations as personal attacks. A low ability to interpret emotional and social cues is another surprising sign. People with an extremely low IQ often misunderstand tone, context, and a question feels like criticism. A suggestion feels like disrespect. They aren't overly sensitive. They're confused by complexity, so they respond defensively. The good news is that intelligence is not fixed. Your brain can grow. The fastest way to avoid these patterns is to practice reflection. Learn one new skill at a time and surround yourself with people who challenge your thinking instead of confirming. Self-awareness is the first step. Small daily learning is the second. If any of these signs sounded familiar, don't worry. It's not a label. It's a starting point. You can upgrade your mind, your habits, and your direction. Thanks for watching and stay curious.